Hello, let's go over a build, an awesome build, a very good build, a bad habit inducing build, a build for everyone that's not top tier or sweaty or super good or that hasn't played for half a year. So anyways, before we get into that, if you've seen my tips and tricks video or you haven't and you don't remember, if you're brand new to the game, you shouldn't even be looking at builds, to be honest. You should literally be using your Ganasher gear. Ganasher. It's one of the first sets you can get. I mean, I think it is the first set you get that you can craft, the Ganasher gear here. It's got Tough built into it. It's got Rage Hunter, Bloodless. It's a good all-around set. You shouldn't be wasting your time and effort looking at YouTube videos, trying to figure out what build you want when you're like 2 days into the game. Your gear, if you look over here, this is all plus 10 gear, which at plus 10 gives you a maximum plus 3 perk. And if that doesn't mean anything to you, you definitely shouldn't be looking at builds. Now, if you've played a little bit and you have a few items of gear, and you're up around the 500 gear score, or you're around, let's just say 380. If you're around 380, which should be all plus 6s, I believe, plus 6 gear, then you have enough behemoths unlocked. You've played enough, you understand enough, and you probably by that time have enough plus 3 cells that you've been working on the middleman. If you don't know what that is, there's another video I have on the middleman. You should be cooking cells daily to level up your green plus 1s to your blue plus 2s, and then leveling your blue plus 2s up to the purple plus 3s. And if you don't know what I'm talking about there, you really shouldn't be watching this video, and you shouldn't be worried about builds yet at all, because you don't even know what the game is yet. You can't just jump in at nothing and get. That's like playing World of Warcraft and being a level 2 trying to figure out how to get raid gear. But no. Anyways, so once you've done the Ganasher and you've gotten everything leveled up and you can do everything in the game with ease, and then you can go and start farming lower level stuff for other gear and parts and pieces with a high level set where you're not going to get penalized for having different elements. And it's just a good all around basic thing, and you can power through your quest line very quickly with just one set. You're not wasting any time trying to make a build with a plus 1 and a plus 3 and trying to figure out how you can get a plus 6 with a bunch of plus. Stupid. Just level one set. Leave it neutral so you don't get penalized, get to a high level, and then go out and farm things when you're more powerful. It's faster, easier, more simplistic, makes more sense. Now, the build for everybody, that if you're struggling, let's say you're a month in, you don't play every day, you play here and there a couple hours a day, maybe 3 days a week, and you've been playing for a month. Most likely, you still don't understand all the mechanics of the behemoths. Most likely, you still don't know how to dodge properly. Most likely, you're struggling on harder content, you're trying to get pubs, you're running into bad pubs, you're getting frustrated. This build will keep you alive and allow you to do a ton of damage. Now, it's going to sound scary. It's called a low-life build. I call it the community calls it low-life. I'm still kind of new to the community in terms, but whatnot. Basically, it's an Iceborne build. There's 3 major perks in this build that require you to stay at 50% health or less. It's okay. Iceborne at a plus 6. When under 50% health, you gain plus 3, 30% decreased damage taken. So damage, you're tankier. And then you also, at a plus 6, you get 8% lifesteal. And it doesn't bring you above 50%. So if you're at 50%, you're technically at max health for the build. It's not going to take you above and deactivate your perks. It's going to keep you at 50%. Anytime you go down below and you keep doing damage, it brings you back up. So you're going to be bouncing like this. The build will allow you to take hits, even at below 50% health. You'll take hits, and as long as you're able to dish damage back, you'll virtually never die. If you take a bunch of hits in a row without doing damage, you'll die. You'll pop a health potion. It's going to bring you above 50%. You're going to do, you have to just basically get down below 50% again for it to become active. So there is a drawback to it. You have to get to 50% for it to be active, but that's fine. You can practice being good and not getting hit. And then once you get down to 50%, then you go into tank mode. Now, there's 2 other perks that also activate at 50% or less health. Rage. At 50% health, you're doing 25% extra damage. You're just flat damage. Everything you do is 25% extra damage at less than 50% health. That's awesome. Awesome. And then Wild Frenzy. when under 50% health, you gain 25% attack speed. So now you're swinging and hitting way faster. You're doing more damage. You're tankier. And if you're at 20% health, you're gaining health back up to 50%. It's huge. And then with the combination of gear that I have in this low life build with the Hellion headpiece and the Ganasher gloves, you get Rage Hunter, or not the gloves, with the slot that we put in here. I put no, not the Rage Cell. It's built into the gloves. Silly Willy? No. Well, yeah. Rage Hunter in the gloves, and then Rage Hunter in the helmet, which gives you Rage Hunter. Whenever the behemoths go in rage, you're going to be doing an extra 40% damage. So 40 and then 25. So you're at 65% extra damage during their enraged state. It's dirty. And you're swinging faster, you're hitting faster, you're tankier. It's dirty, 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 dirty. And the cool thing about this build is it's not meant for the fastest kill times. You can get pretty good kill times. I promise you can. You can get pretty good kill times with this build. You're doing a lot of static damage that is not situational. And then you're able to run whatever weapon you're working on. So the fact that it's not meant for the sweatiest end game, fastest kill times on the planet. When you look up like axe build or hammer build on YouTube, you're gonna get the greats. You're gonna get Shadow Striker, Odo, Revi, all these guys that have been playing the game forever. All their gear is maxed out. They have everything, and they're finding the most optimal build for that behemoth to get the fastest kill time. And then people will look those up, and then when they're a week into the game and they have +2 cells, +1 cells, they don't have everything unlocked, not everything's a +10, they go farm that gear, or they beg to get carried to get that gear. They're not even prepared to even play at that level to even merit, because some of the perks you lose when you take damage, it's just not feasible, right? So the cool thing about this build is it's just gear dependent, which allows you, because you're going to use this as you're leveling, it's more of a beginner. It's not a beginner. I would say it's more of I played for a few weeks, I have things unlocked. So you use it, and you can swap out whatever weapons you want. This works with hammers, axes, chain blades, swords, pikes. You don't have to worry about it. You just use one set, and you can swap your weapons in and out. So you can work on your mastery of your weapons. You can change your playstyle with different weapons. It works with everything. The gear itself is what gives you the perks needed. And then whatever else you want to throw in here, bonus. Obviously, you've got conduit down here. You probably want to be using weapons that have a utility slot so you can get your +6 conduit. You're not penalized too badly without having it. So, for instance, if I needed to work on the Flight of Strike chain blades here, I'm not getting my +6 conduit. I don't care. I'm going to run another conditioning probably in my mobility slot that I might run Berserker or Predator, and practice not getting hit. Predator is a perk that gives you extra damage until you get hit. When you get hit, you lose that buff for 15 seconds, unless you keep getting hit. Then you have to be unhit for 15 seconds to get that damage buff. It's a good perk, but you have to be good. And so this build will allow you to do lots of things while leveling, while farming, while doing harder content. If you're looking for heroic orbs or dire orbs or heroic plus orbs, this build will let you do it. It will. It's amazing. And then if you're really, really bad and still learning and practicing how to dodge and learning the behaviors of behemoths, bring bulwarks with you. So that's like the most important potion for anybody that's learning the game. Still to this day, I'm in about 3 months in now. I'm soloing some of the trials. I'm doing everything. I can kill almost everything solo in under 3 minutes now. On up till heroic pluses, I've got mostly everything under 4 minutes now. Couple under 3. But I don't really use bulwarks anymore. But I still do sometimes, depending on what we're doing. I definitely use them in trials. But for the first 2 months that I was playing this game, that's a must. What do we want to do? What do we want to do? We want to do chain blades? Let's use chain blades. Let's not use a 550. Let's actually, let's find out what I need. Let's find out what I need. We'll come over here. Let's see. Well, we need to use this guy. He's not maxed out yet. So let's go ahead and put the Charog blades on. We're going to use Reaper's Dance. We're going to use Serrated Blades. And then what do we want for technique? Let's do actually, do we want to make him bleed? That'd be fun. Nah. We can do Crit Chance, Blade Storm. Really doesn't matter. Weighted strikes. Let's do whatever. Let's do something weird. Just add wounded damage. How much are we adding to it though? 15%. Defense. I don't know what we need. If you're running defense, you can run 9 lives, which is super solid for damage reduction or chance for damage reduction on top of your Iceborne. Tough. stacks really well with Iceborne. So tough increases. Actually, let's see if a +3 tough will do it. I don't think a +3 will. Yeah, it will. So I get 150 extra health and then 15% increased healing from all sources. So your Iceborne healing when you're below 50% health is also increased by that. So we'll leave that on. All right, let's go ahead and pick a behemoth. We'll go ahead and show off heroic. I mean, it's normal challenge for me at my gear level. Private. By the way, while we're waiting really quick, things changed a little bit, but if you run a Riftstalker weapon, we'll throw one in just really quick. It comes with a built-in Wild Frenzy, right? And then another technique. So you can put Wild Frenzy, giving you 2 extra technique slots. So if you're running Chainblades, you could run Berserker, you could run Predator, you could run Weighted Strikes. Weighted Strikes isn't as necessary anymore because they added some booping capabilities with just basic attacks. So this build is specifically amazing with Riftstalker Chainblades. Maybe the sword as well. Hammer, I guess. I mean, all of Riftstalker stuff. By the way, if you're noticing the potions, I usually don't use potions unless I'm doing trials or something super hard like a hero plus by myself, but even then I usually don't. Those are for, I was using a hammer build earlier, so those aren't what I run with Chainblades. So typically right now I have no benefit of my build really. I get Rage Hunter, but so let's go ahead and get down to half-life. Normally you'd be sitting in here. There you go. Now we're down at half-life. So now I'll take reduced damage. At this point you can pop the Bulwark. I wouldn't recommend popping one first because you want to get down to half health. I'm attacking faster, doing more damage. You know, watch my health will go back up, and then it stops. I can take a hit, come back in, it goes back up, and it just sits there. Now it stops at 50%. Take a hit. Again, as long as you don't take a bunch of hits in a row, you're never going to die. You got to be able to get in and do damage. This is heroic. I'm sitting here left-clicking. Those 2 hits in a row. I didn't get enough damage done. What you want to do is make sure you're doing damage. Too much. Too fast. Just sit here. Boom. Pretty dirty. Pretty dirty. Nice little interrupt there. Alright, you just sit here and easy mode. Now, there is a drawback to it. Because it's so hard to actually die compared to other builds, it does teach bad habits. Because you can sit here and take damage and not worry about it so much. So it definitely does teach bad habits. I typically don't run this build much anymore. I ran it for about 2 months. There are times where I'll be drinking and playing with friends or on stream, and I'll come back to an Iceborne build because my reaction time is done. Or I'll have a really active chat, and I want to talk to chat while I'm playing. And then I'll switch to this build so I don't have to focus so hard, because those of you that haven't run this build, you realize that when you get hit a couple times, you gotta pop your healing potions, you gotta go drink from the Aether vent. This just keeps you healing. Just keeps you alive. Like, I'll never run potions ever. Some of you are probably watching this being like, you're just spamming. Yeah, you can. You can. You don't gotta do anything fancy. You can. Ideally, you always want to be practicing not getting hit, learning when to dodge, watching the behemoths. But if you want a really easy mode that'll get you through all of the content while you're practicing and leveling, and most likely building bad habits, this is a solid build. Again, put up on screen. We've got Boreal Feet, Nasher Gloves, Boreal Chest Piece, and Hellraiser. This has Wild Frenzy. Got Iceborne in it. This has Rage Hunter. That has Iceborne. Then Conduit. Then you're able to pick whatever weapon and combination you want up here as bonuses. Do it, love it, embrace it. It's amazing. Totally amazing. Got me through all kinds of content, helped me level up other gear, get solo anything. It's good. It's really good. So now you don't necessarily have to feel like I can't do anything. I got to be in a pug to get carried because I'm still learning. No. Throw this on. Go solo a couple things. You'll also realize how much easier the behemoths are by yourself when you're actually doing the majority of the work or a lot of work. The behemoths scale based on people in your party. So when you're in a group of 4 and nobody's doing anything, the fights last forever. And that happens a lot. So I stream daily on Twitch at twitch.tv/SlyGumbi between the hours of around 8 p.m. to about 2 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Again, twitch.tv/SlyGumbi. Support a creator code, SlyGumbi. Twitter, SlyGumbi. I got a website, SlyGumbi.com. I'll have a Discord link down below as well. We got all kinds of stuff going everywhere, for all things SG related. See you guys in the next one. Bye-bye now.